Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to King Arthur Pendragon, Week 9, Year 487. How is everybody doing today?
Great. How are you doing, Stephen?
Super great, and our sound is working too, which is awesome, and it means that our audience at home will be able to hear my crazy cat running back and forth across the carpet. So that's fantastic. Good morning, everybody. How are y'all? Yeah, we're trying to end sharply at 1 o'clock today for one of our players. So let's do a really quick just hello from each of you all, and then we'll jump straight into the action. Eric, how's it going?
It's going really good. Got a lot of good news this week.
Yeah, do you want to tell us
Yeah.
very briefly what your good news entails?
Yeah, I'm going to be accepting a new job next week, which would be fun. So I'm starting at the end of the month then, so that's gonna be super good. And I started going to the gym and hit some great milestones this time.
Yeah.
So that's really
Nice.
good. I can squat and deadlift my body weight now as like my normal repetition parts, which
Nice,
is like
buddy.
a big deal for me. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's great.
So that's what's going on for me. Oh, and I'm starting a mouse guard game with some friends. I'm doing a one shot next week with from real life friends.
That's
I'll just show them the joy of mouse guard. So
That's-
life is turning up Eric.
Yeah,
Love
that's
mouse guard.
awesome. Squatting my body weight is my next goal as well. I'm up to 150, so I've got to push a little further with that. But yeah, it's good times. Man, working out it's fun.
It is.
Jess, how are you today?
Yeah, we should all work out like me. Oh man.
Yeah, like Jess.
I have not been squatting, but I did get my site up. So that's
Yeah, I
exciting.
saw that. That's super great.
Yeah, Silden.com is a real live thing that you can go see. I'm still adding stuff to it, but it is up if you want to take a look at some art. My plan is to add links to every single YouTube playlist of every single thing I've ever done, so you can
Yep.
find it easily.
I need to
That's
do
the
exactly
plan.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Getting there though.
Very cool.
Yeah, good
Luke,
stuff.
how are you this morning?
Pretty good, pretty good. While I cannot squat my body weight, I have returned to playing judo, at which I'm terrible at, but I can choke a motherfucker with my legs.
Awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah.
A rare feeling. But yeah, the Middlemark campaign ended on Kickstarter is good. We're gonna make a bunch of those books. We're gonna do a second edition of the Torchbearer GM screen because we overfunded just the right amount of money.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
yeah, onward.
Excellent. Kira, how are you today?
I'm great.
Awesome.
Thanks for asking. I went to see Triple X. There was
Yeah, I saw your tweet about that.
it was amazing. You should
Yes.
go see it. Donnie Yen looked the happiest on screen I think I've ever seen him. He
Oh,
was like
that's so
so
awesome.
having a good time
I love
and
him.
choking people out with his legs too, Luke. So you can be like Donnie Yen. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's
Also, oh, go ahead.
no, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good. Go see it. It's almost feminist too. It has two women doing things. What?
Nice.
Yeah.
Did it pass the Bechdel test?
Actually, it did. It totally
That's-
passed the Bechdel
That's
test.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was outrageous. Really diverse cast. It was a good movie. Go see it anyway. Yeah, that's my story.
I've actually heard that before, and like I looked at reviews for it. And it's got like a 38 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, man, I guess it's actually not very good. But no, now I'm 100% convinced that it's an amazing movie, and that reviewers just don't know what they're talking about.
Yes.
Also, I love Vin Diesel. Unironically, he's just so fun
Yeah.
to watch. So
Yeah, he's outrageous.
Yeah.
I would put it a little higher than, controversially higher than Rogue One.
whoa.
Wow.
Whoa! Controversially higher than Rogue One. That is controversial, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel about Triple X. There's Brandon Vandercage.
That's awesome. All right, let's do some King Arthur Pendragoning. Yeah, let's see. Where are we? We're in year 487. So, for the benefit of the audience and those of us who were not with us last week, can I get each of you to summarize very quickly what we saw? Jess, why don't we start with you?
We saw some crazy pagan stuff. We saw the origin of how my spring appeared on my property. I don't know how quickly I can summarize that, but basically I was led into an area of my lands that I wasn't super familiar with by a sprite of some kind, a like child with a light that turned into a crazy dragon that then ate me and spat me out, and then it turned into a frog, and then it turned into a spring. So that was cool.
That's pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
Turned into whitewashing it. It opened its mouth in reverse and just out came a spring.
It was insane. You should probably watch it. But yeah, then all of my serfs were able to partake in very, very crystal clear, beautiful spring water, and everyone's better for it.
Yep. And
life is good.
Borf and Lonk had some disagreements over,
They did.
over access to the spring.
People got a little greedy, but we settled it, and I had everyone over for a little service in honor of Dwinwyn because she lent me some money because I spent all of mine, and we named the spring after her, and it was nice.
It was very nice.
It was very cute.
Eric, what happened with you last time?
Yeah, okay. So I got to deliver a little bit of justice, which was a lot of fun. Someone was stealing my sheep. So there was some peasants on my neighbor's property, and I had to go talk to the manager about it. And we got to a pretty good agreement, and I put them to the sword. It was awesome.
Yep.
What? So wait, you'll pull your sword out to murder peasants, but not in a fight with a giant or a Saxon.
Listen, giants are scary.
Wotan or whatever. So I'm just looking at the pie chart for Gideon here.
Yeah, the diagram of things I will fight and things I don't fight really is weird.
This has actually changed my estimation of Gideon considerably.
Nidian punches down, Eric. Wait,
Yeah.
Eric, Luke.
I definitely do.
Yeah, that's one way to say it. Okay.
Good. And well, it was an execution on behalf of the king's justice. So it's not like he didn't just run in and stab peasants. He brought them under custody, brought them back to his town, and then executed them.
Institutional murder.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was the systemic violence of the oppressors against the oppressed.
Right, making sure that there's no danger to Nidian at all.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we leveraged the monopoly of violence for sure. Of sanctioned violence.
All right, Kira, what happened to Dwinwyn last time?
There's not much violence there's no violence, I think, at my feast that I held. Everyone came, including my sister, who I was not looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
And my mom's old friend, who I had to impress with an old family recipe. And I succeeded, verily.
Nailed it.
in making a delicious braided bread, stuffed bread thing. And there was a falconry contest that everyone participated in. Nidian looked like he was going to potentially be some competition for my sister, but she was just a badass and won. And then we made up, and there were hugs and tears.
It was very pleasant all around.
Yes,
It was
Yeah.
good party.
All right, so year 487. Let's see. When is Pentecost? That's quite early, isn't it? Oh, not Pentecostal. Pentecost. Sunday, June 4th. Okay, no, wow. For a guy who used to conduct a church choir, I know a lot about the ordinary service.
Lent?
Yeah. So, Pentecost. Yes, so this is all taking place about 4 weeks after Pentecost. So it's early July now in the year 487. And the royal court is being held at Sarum this year in Salisbury. So the Earl's Court has been, alternatively put out and or greatly honored by the presence of King Uther and all of his attendants, including Prince Madoc, his son, Sir Ulfius, his his advisor on diplomatic affairs of what's happening outside of Logris. Though notably absent is Merlin. So, some gossip that you hear around the courtyard. Oh, I hate it when the king comes here. Everyone gets moved around. After a hard day of work, I can hardly even remember where I'm supposed to sleep.
Not me. I'm glad to have him and his army here. Who knows what those Saxons are going to do next? They're all over this place. The eastern lands have been devastated by the wars there.
Did you hear? The Praetor Syagrius went and visited the kings of Malaut and Cornwall, but they turned him down flat. Too many Saxons and Irish on the island to have their domains unprotected, they say.
Oh, by the way, where's that Merlin now?
Good riddance to that son of a devil, I say. Yes.
Aw.
So, yeah, wait, what? So the first thing it says is, all the lords of Logris are summoned to meet in Sarum 4 weeks after Pentecost, which of course is in June. And then it also says, now this is the Christmas feast. So, okay, good. Now we're at the Christmas feast in mid-July or something.
Christmas in July? What, you don't know about this holiday?
Yeah, it's a British pagan celebration of Christmas in July.
Cool.
Yes. So, yes, everybody has been invited to Sarum to join the Christmas feast, which is one of the 3 regular crown wearings of the year. So everybody comes to court to participate. Sarum Castle is just jam-packed with all sorts of people. King Uther and his retinue, and of course all of Earl Roderick's retinue and his knights have all been invited. And this large feast lasts for a week. Everyone is invited to attend. So how do you each prepare and present yourselves at the Christmas feast? What are your sort of goals and objectives?
Are we supposed to be bringing gifts? Is that something you do?
I think it's more that gifts are reserved for people in the higher station, and then generally lords present gifts to their their vassals. But you are not required to present gifts to your lord. No.
Okay, not a problem. All right, that's good.
Yeah. Are there any preparations that you make, or any particular outfits that you try to wear?
So, I'm not someone who has that many outfits. So my my fashion is going to be the same one that I wore through the winter last year.
Nice.
Surprise.
Basically what you wore to your knighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I am going to prepare a nice song. I'm going to practice. I want to sing a song to honor my lord, Earl Roderick.
Very cool.
I'm gonna prepare a nice little tune.
Can you make a compose roll for me?
Yeah, no problem. So close, guys.
Less
So
less
close.
than
I had
one,
a
huh? Wow.
Oh my god.
All right.
Well, yeah.
That's not
Cool.
great.
Yeah. So you do your best. You work on it some, and you put together a little something. Like the scansion gets a little weird in some places, and only about half of the lines rhyme. But you have a nice voice. Maybe that'll make up for it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any bonuses on your singing roll, but you won't get any penalties either. Are any of the rest of you trying to prepare anything specific for the?
Yeah. Well, I guess so. Hrethrick's going to make this an occasion for Yvonne as well. And he sees that she's been overworked at the manor. Like, he's been pitching in too, but it obviously he's also been off fighting giants and shit. So he's going to turn this into like a big event for her to get to go to court and to dress up and see everybody. And so he's going to just help her prepare and just kind of turn his crazy Hrethric energy on her.
Nice.
Right? And kind of just be buzzing around her all the time and talking about how she's going to do her hair and, what she's going to wear and, what colors, and they have to match, right? Herethric's like suit has got to match hers, like all that stuff. He's gonna really try to make it like an occasion for her.
Awesome. Would you roll your energetic? It feels like that's what you're angling for.
Well, I'm just trying to I'm not really angling for energetic, but I will roll it. God damn it.
Yeah, totally.
I have succeeded.
Excellent. Yeah. So your energy is infectious. And this is obviously one of the parts of your personality that drew Yvonne to you in the first place. So she gets energized by your energy, and she starts talking back to you. Oh yes, no, with the red we have to do a bright orange. All sorts of just back and forth between the two of you of picking out outfits and assembling flower arrangements and things like that.
Right. I mean, I hope we show up at court like completely looking like yokels, but not caring at all. Right?
Yes, that is what happens. Excellent. Dwinwyn, how about you?
Yeah, I think since I have a lot of money, but I don't have enough money to impress all these lords with amazing gifts. But I do have money to spend on all of my fellow knight friends.
Wow.
So I think I will bring a gift for everybody.
Nice. Is it a gift of cash, or is it a gift of some sort of goods, or what?
Oh no, they each get like an individual gift. Like I'll probably bring Hrethric like a beautiful baby blanket or something for his
Yeah.
And it's got like all of Hrethric like family sigils and stuff on it, and it's really beautiful and soft. And Elaine will probably get some wine made from the water that she gave me.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, that I finally had time to like make. I have a winery now, or not a wait. I have a vineyard.
You have a vineyard, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be doing some chemistry. And Midian, I'll probably bring you like a fancy belt or a cloak. I don't know, which one would he wear?
Belt. I need a new belt.
Okay. Yeah, like some kind of fancy like embroidered. Maybe practical, maybe just for
The buckle is the shape of an owl.
Yeah.
Somehow you knew that. It was great. Great idea. Thank you.
It came to me in a dream. So yeah, Dwinwyn will show up with Lady Adwin and all of these gifts to
Fantastic. Yes. All right. So, you all show up at court, and of course, every knight that you've met is there. Sir Lycus is there. Sir Theodoric is there. Sir Griselda is there, the neighbor to Newton Tony, who was there at your spring christening, Elaine. Your sister, Sir Alice, is there. Everybody really turns out, and they're all wearing their nicest finery and ready to show off for King Uther. And over the course of time, over the course of this week, at various times, gifts are given. So, first the Earl gives gifts to all of his servants. It starts at the very lowest level. So he gives out, small bags of coin, or, a new suit of clothes for their duties, or, to one of his stable hands, he gives a young horse for their astute service. And then he goes to his knights, and he begins bestowing gifts upon them as well. So I think for Sir Nidian, he bestows on you a brand new suit of finery.
Oh.
Yes, it's the most cutting edge fashion. It's very well fitted. It's clear that he has your measurements like on staff.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then
I would love to wear it if I could.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
obviously it won't
absolutely.
change right here, but later, yeah.
You just start stripping off.
Yeah, like, oh, fantastic.
Cool. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
I think for Hrethric, he summons over his finest carpenter, and the carpenter carries a large object towards you that's draped in a cloth, and he pulls the cloth away, and it's a large cradle.
Yay!
Yeah,
Aw.
made out of oak. And then for Dwinwyn, I think he gives you 3. Let's see, what kind of metal would they be made out of? I guess probably it's like copper but threaded with gold. 3 large torques, and it's clear that one is for you and one is for your wife and one is for your lover.
Oh.
Yes. And then Silda and Jess, Elaine, I think he probably just gives you a gift of money since he knows that you've been a little bit down on your luck. He presses a bag of coin into your hands.
Yeah, gift cards are great gifts.
Yeah, and
I will
he
accept that.
He speaks a word of encouragement over your fledgling attempts at running your manor.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and all of these, each of these gifts is approximately equal in value. None of them is clearly more impressive than any other. He's doing his appropriate lordly duty to each of you by bestowing these on you. So yes, the king then steps up, and there's a large ceremony where everybody's gathered around in the primary court of Sarum. The king steps down, King Uther, a tall man with long black hair and a thick black beard. He's very stout. He's not fat, but he is thick. And he's just well muscled, and he's got scars all over his arms and slight markings on his face as well. He's clearly a lord of battle. And he gives out gifts to his own household, his own knights, his own officers. And finally, he calls Prince Madoc forwards and says, "Come, son, come to me." And he has armorers bring out an incredibly fine, well-detailed suit of armor that fits Prince Madoc like a glove. It's an incredibly sumptuous gift. And then he says, "My son, kneel before me. I also give you this." And he pulls out an envelope, and he opens it, and he pulls out a grant, a land grant. And he says, "This generous grant of several manors of land along the Thames, and also to my son I give the holding of Windsor Castle." And everybody in the court gasps and oohs. And this is an incredibly large and generous gift. It is... It's more than most people in the court will ever see in their lifetimes. However, it's not unusual for royalty. Among the earls, Earl Roderick gives to Uther a beautiful cloak trimmed with the fur of white bears imported from Norway. He unfurls it, and he probably has like the trader from Norway there to talk about the capturing and trapping of these bears and the quality of their furs. Prince Madoc finally calls in his own men, and from the back of the hall the doors open, and just like hordes upon hordes of people come in bearing huge chests, and they come to the front of the room carrying these chests on stretcher-like frames carried between 4 men each to set these down in a semicircle at the front of the room. King Uther, or actually, they unfurl a large cloth onto the ground, and as it settles onto the ground, you can all see that it bears on it the sigil of one of the dead Saxon chieftains. King Uther comes down off of the dais in Sarum Castle, and he steps onto the cloth, and he goes from chest to chest, opening it. And as he opens it, it's like the light from the treasure inside the chests brightens the hall with a golden glow. Each of these chests contains booty from the war. A chest of silver coin, another of gold, one of goblets and plates, another of jewelry, one of both silver and gold, one of red and purple jewels, another of bolts of silk and samite, others of gold cloth and silver thread. King Uther comes beyond each of these chests and begins picking pieces up out of each chest, looking around the room at all of his lords fondly. He goes from person to person, pressing a small amount of treasure into the hands of everybody present. And it seems like he is bestowing the proper gift on each person. Everyone seems to understand that what he has chosen for them is uniquely appropriate for themselves.
Intentional, yeah.
Who's doing the handing out?
King Uther.
Uther.
Yeah,
Wow.
King Uther going around the room, and he's got the crown of England on his head at this point in time as well. Yeah, and everybody as they receive their gifts, they kneel down before their king, and he whispers a few words to each of them, and then he goes to each of the knights that are assembled here, and he he's given out the most sumptuous pieces of jewelry, but he still has copious amounts of silver coin, so. He goes to each of you in turn, pressing a sack of silver coin into your hands, each worth approximately 1 librum. So each of you can mark that down. He gets to the end of the line where Nidian kneels, and he presses a sack of silver coin into your hand and moves on, and then he stops and pauses for a moment, and he turns back, and he says, "Sir Knight, stand yourself up, would you?"
I do, and I'm terrified.
Yeah, he's. How tall are you? What's your size?
Oh, yeah. I'm an 11, so I'm roughly your. No one's 6 feet really, unless you're like Hrethric.
Right.
So like I'm probably like I'm probably like 5'6".
Yeah.
Right.
So he's probably just an inch or two taller than you, but you're almost looking him in the eyes, and he rests a hand on your shoulder and he says,
"You see that gulp,
Yeah.
Like,
What's going through your mind as you get singled out by King Uther?
oh, this is bad. Oh boy, there's a lot of things I did that are bad. Oh man, what does he know about me? This is really bad. Like, oh, this is it, everybody. Oh, I'm never gonna. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I have a kid. What am I gonna do?
I have a child. Yeah. He puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "Your face. Pelin's son, are you not?"
Yes, my king.
Yeah, he steps
Looking down, like
he steps back, and he smiles and he gestures widely to the room and he says, "Behold, the son of Sir Pelin, who fought with me in the Battle of Windsor and died for me, taking a spear to his chest which was aimed at the king's own life. This man," and he leaves his hand on your shoulder.
Yeah.
"This man, he comes from a great line of knights, and his line," and he turns back to you, says, "You have a line, don't you, son?"
working on it, my king.
Good lad, and he slaps you on the back.
Yeah.
"His line, upon which he is working," and everybody laughs.
Yeah.
"His line will be mighty and great, and will bestow glory on the kingdom of Britain. Lad,
Oh my god.
for the honor your father did me in battle, take this." And he presses another and then a third sack of silver into your hands. And then he moves on.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Down the line.
Dude.
I'm like kind of holding him like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is worth more than the lumber that I chopped down of my entire life. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god.
You should spend it planting trees, Nidian.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is crazy.
Yes. So, after a long while, all of the gift giving is finally at an end, and Uther claps his hands, and all of the tables, servants rush into the hall, bearing all of the tables back out into the center of the hall. People come around bearing flagons of wine and mead and pouring out new goblets. And large, sumptuous dishes come pouring into the hall, all prepared by Earl Roderick's kitchens. So there are things that you're used to eating in local fare, but for the king, expertly prepared, exquisitely seasoned, and the scents just fill the room and completely overwhelm your senses. I think now is an excellent time for any sort of schmoozing and or song singing Eric.
Yeah, I think, boy, yeah, I want to sing a song for my Earl.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm radiant with such praise from the king tonight.
Nice.
So I feel like I'm gonna do a really good job singing here.
No.
I'm really hoping it. And
Are you feeling radiant enough to call on your love of family?
yeah. Or can I call on? Wouldn't it be loyalty, my lord?
Well, the king isn't your direct lord. Loyalty to the lord is
okay.
your feelings of loyalty to Earl Roderick specifically.
Yeah, but I wrote this song for my lord specifically.
That's very true.
So I think it's just more. I think I'm more towards my loyalty of my lord for him for this one. That's okay.
I'd actually allow you to do both if you wanted, but you can definitely call on your loyalty of lord.
Let's do both.
Oh yeah.
So passionate.
All right.
Love of my family.
Yep, you're suffused with love for your father and his lineage.
I'm wearing I got new threads.
Yeah.
I just got a huge shout out by the king. I'm feeling it today. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh no, you failed your loyalty to Lord.
No.
Yeah, all right. So maybe you're feeling a little more prideful of your family than respectful to
fair.
the Lord.
That's fair because I think my song might actually be a little disrespectful.
Yeah.
So that's okay. So I think kind of what I want to do.
This gives you a total of +5 modifier, by the way, because you get +10 for the first success and then -5 for the failure.
Okay. Yeah.
Total of +5 to your singing.
So, yeah, it's like, you got a vassal in me.
Oh no!
You got a vassal in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you'll remember I'll fight for you to my last breath. My lord, you got a vassal in me. Kind of thing.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
And I'm going to
roll to see how your song is received.
With a +5.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I fucking hate this game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. Sorry, fam.
I think you get just a little too drunk, and that's when you're like,
fair.
"Hey, I wrote a song."
Oh God. Fam. Please, fam.
Fam, please.
Yeah, and I think Sir Lycus is there swaying along, and he's trying to find the right rhythm to sway, and it's really quite challenging from the way that you're singing it. Yeah, everybody's sort of they're like, oh yeah, that's nice. Good try.
Well, it's better than my burning the ships thing, so that's.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think you see over in the corner the Lady Jenna giggling at you from behind her hand.
Oh boy. Do I see that? I see that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's even more mortifying.
Oh yeah. This is one of those nightmare dreams that you have where you stand up and you have no pants and yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some air and we cut to the part where I'm on a balcony looking at the stars and I sing some kind of somber "Somewhere I Belong" style song.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean? If we're playing Pendragon the musical, at least.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Which-
All right, so I'm gonna get some air and be kind of to myself.
This week we are.
recompose.
You head out the back of the hall and you put your hand on the door and the door slams open. Wham! If this were an anime, it'd be one of those moments where you get slammed behind the door and the door closes again and then you're there the 2D cutout. Just yeah. And past you strides a guardsman. The herald, actually. The herald strides past you and he shouts in your ear as you leave. He shouts, "Presenting the great wizard Merlin, the guardian of Britain!" And then the impatient mage strides past, his staff clacking on the floor, his long white hair and beard flowing about him as he advances. He doesn't look to either side. He walks straight down the center of the hall, right up to the Lord's table, the King's table. Uther stands up and he says, "Welcome, Merlin, to these halls. You are always welcome in my court." Merlin bows and speaks back, "Thank you, my king." Speaks in a loud and clear voice. "Ah, gold and silver, clothing from far distant lands. These are surely gifts worthy of a king. Yet you, Uther, deserve more, for surely no one in the world has ever sat as high as you, not even the emperors of Rome." Uther smiles and looks pleased, and the entire court is quiet, watching the scene unfold. "Yet, even you lack one thing." There's a murmur around the court. Everybody's wondering what Merlin could mean by this, and Uther himself frowns. You can see him getting impatient with his mage. Merlin continues, "Such a great man deserves nothing but the best, and he who would bring peace to the whole of our great land deserves all that would help him to obtain it. And so I, your humble servant, am pleased to offer you from my weak hands this." And he pulls from beneath his robes a gleaming sword whose own internal light causes the entire hall to gasp in delight and wonder. Even King Uther is surprised and stands up. Merlin turns the sword around, grasping it by its point and offering the hilt to King Uther, holding it with his robe so that he doesn't tarnish the blade. He extends it to King. It speaks clearly, but softly. "For the High King," says Merlin. "Excalibur, the sword of victory." The entire hall breaks out into applause. Uther reaches out. His eyes are transfixed, and we see like that close-up shot of his eyes where we see the gleaming sword reflected in it twice. He reaches out his hand, grips the sword hilt with one hand and holds it up above his head. And then he brings it close to his face, and he mutters to himself, "Surely, now no one can stand before me." Merlin, still kneeling, looks up at him with his clear blue eyes and says, "All you need do is remain just." King Uther holds the gleaming sword and stares at it in wonder. "Now I am prepared to visit some friends of mine." Sir Ulfius nearby chuckles a bit. Uther begins naming certain nobles and says, "You will come with me to visit Duke Lindsay to see wherefore he withholds his vote on the collegium from my vying for the High King." And as he goes around naming the nobles who will accompany with him, he also names Earl Roderick of Salisbury. "This, then," he shouts, "is cause to celebrate. Bring forth the tables, and make at my place a right hand for Merlin, whose wisdom and truth guides our good land." "Thank you, Lord," says the magician. He turns to Earl Roderick then, and says, "Which of your knights was it, Earl Roderick, who accompanied you on this adventure to recover this sword?" Earl Roderick, of course, gestures to the four of you and speaks, "It was Dwynwen, Hrethric, Elaine, and Sir Nidian." King Uther smiles and says, "Watch these men and women well, and give them rein to help Britain." And so with that, all of the food is set out upon the table, and the feast begins. So, for being here and participating in this feast with the presentation of Excalibur, each of you earn 50 glories. So, please mark that down on your character sheets. So, the feasting proceeds enthusiastically. Everybody tears into the food and drink. There's merriment around. Nidian, you spend some time soul-searching on the balcony, looking up at the stars and singing a song. Why don't you give me a singing roll to see about your singing on the balcony? This one is unaugmented and
That's fair.
undetrimented.
I'm definitely singing towards. Yeah. No, that sounds good. What does it matter? It's a fucking game.
Yeah, so the Lady Jenna is walking by with some of her entourage, and they see you singing out there, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. I was like, oh boy, I made a fool about Lady Jenna. She would never fall in love with someone like me now, and she's like definitely hears it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? That is exactly what happens. So you hear someone giggling behind you, and you see Lady Jenna and her like 3 courtly maidens like rushing past you like mice, stifling laughter behind their hands. Yeah.
Can Hrethric is trying to contain his sheer embarrassment on Midian's behalf, and he's just basically, Yvonne. He and Yvonne are kind of sitting there uncomfortably in their stiff, fancy clothes, and he's staring at the wine and the beer, and just like looking at Nidian, looking at the wine, looking at Nidian, his hand trembling, and then he holds it back, like Yvonne is just kind of sipping a thing of wine, and he's just like goes, So Hrethric really does not want to get drunk, but yet feels compelled by Nidian to drink to oblivion.
Yes. I feel like there's a contest between your temperate and indulgent here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
Do you want to roll for it or just decide?
No, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for temperate. Hrethric is actually trying to practice temperance because of his. In general, Hrethric is trying to be tempered because of the reputation of his people. Right? He doesn't want to be seen as a drunken, brawling Saxon.
Yes.
But in this case,
Nidian is making it very challenging.
Yes. I failed.
You failed.
Gloriously.
Yeah.
All right. So now I roll the counter. Right? I roll indulgent.
Yeah. I
also failed that. I think Hrethric gonna get drunk though.
Yeah. Okay.
In that case, so if I get to decide, I think Hrethric, but drunk, and then he'll go sing with Nidian.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah,
singing badly with Nidian.
All right, roll a singing test for me, Hrethric.
Leave poor Hrethric alone, you bully.
Let's do it. Yes.
All right. So what I think happens is that Hrethric and Nidian both drunk. Well, Nidian, are you getting drunk or are you abstaining?
Oh, I gotta get drunk now.
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
great.
It's either that or jump off this balcony.
Yes.
No, I won't let you.
Let's be real here.
I keep pulling you back as you keep climbing up on the banister.
Yeah.
Look, it's not that far. It's not that far, Sir Hrethric.
If
it's just far enough to escape the shame that's clouded over me.
I see this particular song as like Agony from Into the Woods, where the 2 princes are singing about the women they're in love with, and it's just overblown and ridiculous. Anyway, except it's not that good. The 2 of you are raucously drunk, wandering the balconies of Sarum Castle, singing uproariously. And I think there's a moment in the evening, Elaine and Dwynwen, where Earl Roderick comes to the 2 of you and says, well, praise be unto God that the 2 of you still have your senses about you this evening. Your companions seem to be well and truly in their cups. Actually, do the 2 of you have your senses about you?
Come on.
I think so.
Vomit on his slippers. Show what we're really made of.
Yeah, it'd be funny if we were just like sitting at a table drinking as well.
It's up to you.
I'm definitely drinking,
Okay.
but I don't think I'm sloppy.
Let's see. I'm just gonna double check your indulgent traits. Yeah, no, Elaine, you've got your free choice, and Dwynwen, I think, also. Yep, totally. Both of you can just basically make the call. Yeah. So, he comes over. Both of you are enjoying yourselves, but not sloppy. He says, praise be to God that the 2 of you still have your wits about you. Listen, We must go to your comrades, Herethric and Nidian. There is an important matter I must discuss, and despite their current state and current attempts at singing, it is important that we make a decision.
I think Herethric's feelings are spilling out, and he's singing with Nidian. He's there's a place for us.
Yeah, right. Yep. That Saxon longing for home. Yes. Great. So the two of you leaning against each other and singing uproariously hear a gentle but stern lordly cough behind you.
Oh. Join us!
There, again.
Come on, you know the words. You know the words.
I'm super intrigued as to whether or not you could convince Earl Roderick to join you. Are you pressing the case somehow? Are you relying on your energeticness to invoke his good nature, or what?
I think that we're just too drunk to realize.
Well, as far as we know, it's a fucking party.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going just for Earl Roderick then, Steven. If you are going to create this tiny opening, I'm going to go for my beloved boon companions who have spilled blood with me and who have allowed me to accumulate such glory in their presence. So I will just start gushing about how much I love them. I just tackled Dwinwin. I thought you were gonna die, and I didn't know what to do.
That's amazing.
I love you, man. I love you.
And laughs and up and
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I just have servants bring drinks, and I just start toasting them. I press drinks into their hand and start toasting them and praising them.
Yeah. Okay.
I start talking about the giant. I start talking about Elaine and how she slew the giant. Herethric was so impressed.
Give me a.
Thanks, man.
Give me an energetic roll, Luke.
I'm into it.
It. Absolutely. Yay. Yeah. So you're super energetic, and your speeches ring with the fire of a man who loves his comrades. Herethric, roll 2d6 for me, please.
Oh shit! What did I do? How do I do it?
Slash roll or slash R space 2d6.
No, it was rhetorical. How do I do that?
Oh, okay. Good.
8.
Add yourself a passion. Right. Love of my comrades.
It is so true. I'm weeping with joy.
Elaine gets teary-eyed.
Nice.
She's very excited that you're so excited.
Herethric loves y'all. So is it? Do I get is there a base to it, or is it just 8?
I think it's just 8.
Jesus.
New passions generally start at 2d6.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Earl Roderick is moved by your obvious love for each other and joins in the singing. And then the 5 of you wander the hallways or the balconies of Sarum Castle, wailing at the top of your lungs.
Yes.
Living on a prayer.
The Lady Jenna sees Nidian. You walk past with her dad, leaning on you. The both of you singing at the top of your lungs, and she just covers her face and runs. Yeah. So the evening winds down. It's probably 4 or 5 a.m. The sky is turning purple on the horizon from the rising sun. And the 4 of you are smoking pipes and drinking, alternating between a flagon of mead and a flagon of water. Some of you are starting to already nurse headaches. Earl Roderick turns to the 4 of you and says, Listen. No, you listen.
Yeah.
You're good knights. You've proven your worth. And King Uther, he wants me to help you make Britain the best kingdom it can be. So Listen, my king has asked me to join him on the embassy to the Duke of Lindsay, and that's where I'm going. But, Hrethric, you're a strong man with a strong sword arm and a passion for battle. There's Prince Madoc is taking some knights to go sail along the coast in the east and raid the Saxons. You four, it's your choice. Would you like to join me at my king's side and deliver a message to the Duke of Lindsay? Or do you want to kill some Saxons, get some glory in battle for the king?
Ooh.
Oh, fuck! All right, well, wait, huddle.
We're thinking about.
What do we do, guys?
All right, well,
You
let's
want
take
to
a
kill
quick-
stuff, right, guys?
Let's take it.
Like, I'm drunk, so like, it sounds great.
Right. Dwayne, Elaine, Jess, Kira, what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't sound like there's much glory to be had delivering a message.
Right. I mean, how does Hrethric feel about killing Saxons? Pretty good?
It's really all he lives for.
Pretty great, yeah.
Yeah. Especially by your side, together,
Oh,
lance and axe together.
yes.
Yeah,
I
Hrethric is addicted to glory, so Earl Roderick did just say the G word, so I want to
Yeah.
Right.
go with Madoc.
Yep. Cool. That's where my head was at too.
Kira,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Steven, then. All right. So break huddle.
Yep.
How do I do this? I feel like I can get us out of this.
Get us out of this.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, without insulting him.
Right, because he's
I
come to
see.
us with this task, and we're like,
Well, he's offering you your free choice. He's saying you can go with Prince Madoc to raid the coast, or you can come with me to the Lindsay embassy. But he's legitimately putting it in your hands. He's not like, you're my
wouldn't prefer
best
us
bud,
to do-
so you're gonna come with me, right? Because he would just
Right.
order you. He'd just be like, you're my knights, come with me. But yeah, if you want to be exceptionally courteous about this, you can definitely, frame your response in a way that flatters his ego while still making clear your desire, your great bloodlust.
Yeah. So right. So I guess I'll turn to him and just kind of like prostrate myself with and say, you shower us with gifts and confidence. My lord, I am overwhelmed.
Well, yeah, better out than in. Here, have some mead.
But and Lord, we will serve you in any way that you ask. The merest hint of whatever it is you require. And we will do service to you. But my lord knows that we four we are young and hungry for glory.
He's holding your hair by this point.
We seek to serve yourself and all of Britain, and seek to defend Britain's shores and gain glory for you and for our families.
Yeah, you choke your way through it, and he nods sagely and says, "Very well then, I will see you on your return." And the scene fades to black. The next evening, the four of you wake up with splitting headaches. Yes. Very well. So, yes. Some weeks pass. It's been some time since the feast at Sarum Court, and now the four of you are here at Hantone at the mouth of the River Test. There are probably only about 100 or so knights who have shown up. The admiral of this fleet is Gerwinwin, the son of Naf, a proud man who watches the assembled knights with a critical eye, but without comment. Prince Medoc, son of Uther, stands beside the admiral. The prince speaks out, saying, "Men and women, knights, we are here not merely to seek plunder, not merely for the love of battle, not merely for glory, though all of those things may come to us if we acquit ourselves well in the coming encounters. No, we are here for purely military reasons. We will be seeking ships along the coast, and where we find them, we will land them and we will burn them. Your job, Sir Knights, is to protect the sailors who go ashore to set the ships afire. All dead and wounded men and women of Britain are to be brought back to the ships." So, with that, all of you go boarding the ships. I guess with 100 knights, there's probably 6 or 7 vessels in this fleet, each of which bears, some 10 to 20 knights each. Sir Lycus is with you, as is Sir Theodric, the large, rotund knight with big, heavy mutton chops, who delivered his peasants into your generous care, Nidian, last winter. Yes, so you cut through the waves quickly, sailing around the coast of Britain. Each night you put into land and anchor. Your fleet travels together at all times, hoping to maintain superiority in numbers. So, yes.
Yes.
It says to treat each landing as a round in an overall battle. And then to use the battle rules as far as rolling for the battle skill. So let's see about that. We'll take a quick look at the order of battle and see if it makes sense to apply this. Let's see.
Sorry. Oh, I gotta pee. Well, you look up the rules.
Yes. Actually, while we look up the rules and while Luke is peeing, let's go to a break because it is that time.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 5 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll fight some battles on the coast of Britain. And then we'll do our winter phase. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more King Arthur Pendragon, Week 9, Year 487.